The ship moved slowly through the dust cloud. It was an alien vessel called Tyrika, crewed by different races from the Coalition worlds. For months they had been mapping the silent edges of the galaxy, searching for old wrecks or hidden signals. Most of their work was boring, scanning empty regions and finding only dead rock. But on this day, their sensors caught something unusual. At first, it looked like a shadow among the stars, larger than any asteroid. Its surface was broken, yet it gave faint energy readings. The captain of the Tyrika, an alien named Solari, ordered the ship closer. The crew followed, nervous but curious. As the Tyrika approached, the shape became clear. It was a massive vessel, blackened and scarred as if it had faced endless battles. Long sections were torn apart, but its structure was still strong. What shocked the crew most was not the size, but the design. "This is not from any of our archives," said Solari. One of the scientists, a thin creature with 4 arms named Reloc, studied the patterns on the hull. The letters carved into the metal were strange, yet powerful in form. Reloc checked the old databases, and his voice shook as he spoke. This is not alien at all. It is human." The bridge fell silent. The Coalition knew of humans, but only from distant records. Humans were said to be bold, restless explorers, but their ships had not been seen in this sector for thousands of years. Many aliens believed they were long gone, a species that rose quickly and vanished into the dark. Yet here, floating like a ghost, was proof that humans had once traveled further than anyone guessed. The Tyrika sent small craft to investigate. As they docked with the derelict, the explorers moved through dark corridors. Their lights cut across walls covered in scorch marks. They saw doors twisted by explosions, broken consoles, and silent halls that had not echoed with footsteps in an age. But then, something unexpected happened. Deep inside the ship, they found chambers filled with tall glass pods. Each pod carried a figure inside. They were human, preserved in strange liquid, their bodies still, but their faces calm. Thousands of pods lined the chamber like an army frozen in time. Reloc could hardly believe it. They are not statues. They are alive. The explorers tested the life signs. Weak, but real. The humans were sleeping, locked in stasis. No one understood how they had survived so long. The pods looked ancient, patched with crude repairs, yet still working. Solari ordered a scan of the main control core. When the machines came online, an old recording began to play. The voice was heavy with static, but the words repeated again and again. "Battle log incomplete. Continue engagement. Battle log incomplete. Continue engagement." The explorers exchanged worried looks. The humans were not travelers seeking peace. They had been soldiers. This ship was not just a relic. It was a warship. The chamber's walls showed the name of the vessel, written in human language. It read the Sentinel. The Coalition crew gathered in the control chamber to discuss their next move. Some argued that the humans should not be disturbed. To wake them might bring danger, especially if they were warriors who only thought of battle. Others believed they must be studied, for the survival of any life over 1,000 years was a miracle. Reloc pressed his hands against one of the pods. The human inside was tall, with scars across his arms. Even in sleep, his fists were tight, as if ready to fight. Reloc whispered to Solari. "These are not just survivors. They are waiting. We must ask ourselves, what are they waiting for?" The energy readings from the Sentinel grew stronger the longer the Coalition explored. The ship seemed to sense their presence, as if it were alive in its own way. Old lights flickered on in distant halls. Broken systems tried to restart. It was as though the ship remembered its purpose. In the silence of the derelict, the explorers felt a growing tension. Something was not right. The humans were not drifting without reason. They had been placed here with a purpose, and that purpose was not finished. Solari gave his final order for the day. Seal the chambers. We will return tomorrow. No one is to touch the pods again. The coalition crew obeyed, but many felt uneasy. They had found a mystery older than any of their worlds. They had found an army of humans locked in sleep, carrying secrets from a war lost to time. And though the explorers did not know it yet, the act of opening the ship had already changed everything. The Sentinel had awakened. The humans were not far behind. The next day, the coalition crew returned to the Sentinel with careful steps. Solari led a small team, including Reloc and 2 engineers named Kira and Darn. The curiosity of the crew was mixed with caution. They did not know what would happen if the humans woke. Inside the chamber, the pods glowed faintly. The liquid within shimmered with pale light. Solari instructed the engineers to activate a single pod for testing. A hiss filled the room as the pod opened slowly. Steam poured out and sensors beeped. The human inside gasped for air. He blinked rapidly, confusion in his eyes. He sat up and looked around. His body was tall and muscular, his hair dark and messy. Scars ran along his arms and chest. Even though he had been asleep for centuries, his eyes were sharp and alert. "Where is the enemy?" the human asked, his voice firm. Kira froze. "We are, not your enemy," she said carefully. The human looked at the aliens with suspicion. He stood and clenched his fists, scanning the room as if expecting an attack. Reloc stepped forward. "You are safe. We found your ship. You are alive. Do you understand?" The human paused. His eyes narrowed, then widened as if realizing something impossible. "Alive? After all this time?" He looked at the other pods and motioned for Solari to come closer. "How many?" "Thousands," Solari replied. The human turned his gaze to the rows of pods. His expression was both awe and concern. He moved carefully down the line, touching the glass of one pod. A small alarm went off, but he ignored it. "All of you are still sleeping. We must wake them." Reloc tried to stop him. "Wait. You do not know what you are facing. These humans may be dangerous. They were soldiers in war, their training and instincts are extreme." The human paused. "I am Ryan," he said. "If you wish to understand, I must wake my people. There is no time to waste." Solari hesitated. The crew debated for several minutes. Finally, curiosity and caution gave way. They agreed to awaken a few more pods under careful supervision. The first few humans were groggy and confused. They looked at the aliens as if seeing strange creatures for the first time. They moved with caution but maintained a quiet authority. They introduced themselves simply: Ryan, Laura, Dallin, and Torin. Even after centuries in stasis, their minds were sharp, their reflexes alert, and their strength remarkable. The humans did not speak about normal life. Their questions were always about the enemy, the war, and the mission of the Sentinel. They seemed to remember every battle, every strategy, and every loss. Reloc was astonished. These humans, they are incredible. Even in sleep, they hold the knowledge and discipline of warriors. Kira looked at Ryan. "You do not know what happened in the galaxy while you slept. Many of your enemies are gone. Others have risen. You must understand that your battles are not the same anymore." Ryan shook his head. "No, a soldier's duty never ends. We fight until the last enemy is gone. That is our purpose." The aliens began to notice strange patterns in the ship. Systems that had been dormant began to flicker to life when the humans were near. Lights along the corridors turned on. Doors opened automatically. It was as if the Sentinel recognized its crew again. Ryan explored the control room. He pressed buttons with precision. The old screens lit up with maps of distant sectors. Weapons systems were partially restored. The ship had been waiting for them, even after centuries. Dallin spoke to the aliens. Your ships are different, but the galaxy is the same. There are threats that do not rest. Tell me, what dangers remain? Solari hesitated but then described the coalition's observations of small hostile fleets in distant systems, unexplained energy surges, and lost colonies. Ryan listened carefully. His expression darkened. We will need to prepare, Ryan said. If the enemy returns, we cannot be unready. Every human on this ship must awaken. Every weapon must be restored. And the Sentinel must sail again. The aliens watched as the humans moved with quiet authority. They were not arrogant or cruel. They were disciplined, careful, and focused. Even without training in the last centuries, their instincts and judgment were precise. Relok whispered to Solari. We are witnessing something remarkable. These humans are not just survivors. They are a force of nature. Their spirit has not faded. If they were soldiers before, they are something greater now. Ryan paused in the central chamber. He looked at the aliens with calm determination. We do not know what waits in the darkness. But we will meet it, as we always have. Stand with us, or stand aside. The Sentinel will sail again. The room fell silent. The coalition realized they were no longer just explorers. They had awoken an ancient power, a human force that had slept for centuries, and now prepared for a battle that might shake the stars. The humans were fully awake now. Ryan, Laura, Dallin, and Torin moved through the Sentinel with careful steps. Every action was precise, as if the ship itself guided them. The aliens followed, unsure of what to expect. The humans had been asleep for centuries, yet they carried the discipline of warriors. Ryan paused at the bridge and studied the stars through the large viewports. This sector, it is not as I remember, he said, voice steady but serious. Many systems have changed. Some are gone. And some have risen in darkness. Solari stepped forward, trying to explain the current situation. You were asleep for many centuries. The galaxy has shifted. Many colonies have formed, and alliances have changed. There are dangers, but none as vast as what you knew. Ryan's eyes narrowed. We will decide what is danger. A soldier's duty does not end because time passes. Tell me where the threats are, and we will prepare. The aliens realized that reasoning with humans was different. These were not ordinary people. Their minds worked with precision, their instincts alert. They spoke of enemies not in abstract terms but as concrete challenges to be faced. Laura walked down the corridor and examined the weapons room. Ancient guns and energy rifles lined the walls. She ran her hands over the controls and felt the weight of responsibility. These weapons are old, but they are still ready, she said. They remember how to fight. We only need to awaken the rest of the crew. Dallin approached the aliens. You found our ship. You found us. You should know, we do not ask for peace unless there is no other choice. Our purpose is battle, and we will complete it. Will you help us, or will you step aside? The coalition crew hesitated. Some felt fear, others excitement. They had heard stories of humans, but seeing them alive and aware of their mission was different. These humans did not speak with arrogance. They spoke with certainty. They spoke with the weight of purpose. Solari finally spoke. We will help. We do not fully understand your war, but we can assist. You will need supplies, energy, and knowledge of current systems. Our technology can restore your ship faster than you can alone. Ryan nodded. Very well. But know this. We are not explorers. We are the Sentinel. Every human on this ship has one duty, to fight until the enemy is gone. Anyone who joins us must accept this truth. The humans began to inspect the ship fully. The corridors hummed with power as systems restarted. Sensors once silent began to respond. The aliens watched in awe as the humans interfaced with controls and machines that were centuries old. The ship seemed to awaken alongside its crew. Torin moved to the stasis pods and checked the humans who were still asleep. We must awaken them in groups. They cannot all adjust at once. But they must be ready. Every soldier is needed if the enemy returns. Relok watched carefully. These humans, they are incredible. Even without sleep, without knowing the current galaxy, they move with skill that takes generations to develop. Their instinct is unmatched. Outside the ship, sensors detected faint signals from nearby systems. The humans analyzed them quickly. Enemy patterns, Ryan said. The machines we fought long ago may have scattered, but some remain. And they hunt. We will need to strike first if they are near. The aliens were alarmed. They had expected a curious, perhaps peaceful species. Instead, they found a force of nature. Humans who did not forget, humans who remembered 1,000 years of battles, humans who could inspire fear in anyone who underestimated them. Laura returned from the weapons bay with a determined expression. We will not let time weaken us. The Sentinel will sail. Every human who can fight will fight. And we will not surrender. Ryan turned to the aliens. Your technology is useful. Your ships are fast and powerful. But remember, the humans of the Sentinel do not flee. We do not surrender. We do not yield. Stand with us if you wish to survive. The aliens nodded, understanding the seriousness in his voice. They realized they were no longer simply explorers. They were witnesses to a species that had survived centuries of war and had not lost its spirit. The Sentinel powered up fully. Lights ran along its hull, and engines thrummed with energy. The humans moved in organized formations, preparing for the first mission beyond the dust cloud. As the ship prepared to leave, Ryan spoke quietly to his small group. The galaxy has changed, but our purpose has not. We will find the enemy, and we will finish what was begun. The Sentinel carries us, but we carry the fire of humanity. We are not lost. We are awake. And we will fight. The aliens watched as the humans took positions on the bridge and weapons decks. They understood something vital. These humans were more than survivors. They were warriors, leaders, and protectors. They were a reminder that even in the vast emptiness of space, the human spirit could not be forgotten. The Sentinel moved forward, leaving the dust cloud behind. Its engines burned brightly, and its crew of humans, awakened and alert, prepared for the first contact with a galaxy that had changed while they slept. The Sentinel moved steadily through the empty space between stars. The humans gathered in the main hall, surrounded by the aliens who had assisted in their awakening. For the first time, Ryan spoke about the past, the war, and the mission that had carried them across the galaxy. This ship, Ryan began, his voice calm but firm, was built during a time when humanity faced its greatest enemy. Machines that were once tools turned into hunters. They spread across the stars, destroying every colony in their path. Entire systems fell before their advance. The Sentinel was our hope. The aliens listened, fascinated and uneasy. They had heard of humans and their battles, but this was different. These humans had lived through centuries of relentless combat. They had endured losses that no other species could imagine and had survived with courage unbroken. Ryan continued, pointing to the holographic display of the ship's logs. The Sentinel carried warriors and supplies to the front lines. We fought planet after planet, never yielding. We lost many, but humanity's spirit endured. We built this vessel to travel beyond the known galaxy, to find safe ground and strike back. It was a mission of survival and resistance. Laura added quietly, we were told to continue fighting even if the war seemed lost. Our duty was clear. Protect what is human, defend what is alive, and never surrender. The enemy does not rest, so neither could we. The aliens looked around at each other. Some whispered among themselves. They had not realized the scale of human determination. Thousands of humans, carried across space, sleeping for centuries, had kept their sense of purpose intact. Their minds were trained, their instincts ready for the battles they might face again. Dallin stepped forward. When we left for stasis, the galaxy was filled with chaos. Entire sectors burned, and our people were scattered. We thought the war might be lost. But our orders were simple. Protect life, strike the enemy, and ensure that humanity survives. The aliens observed the humans closely. They saw no fear, no doubt. Even after centuries of sleep, the humans' discipline remained. Their eyes were sharp, their movements precise, and their words carried authority. It was clear they were leaders and warriors born to face impossible odds. Ryan gestured toward the star maps projected in the center of the hall. We have information about the enemy's old locations, but we do not know if they have been destroyed or if they still move in shadows. We have waited for this moment for 1,000 years. The Sentinel has kept us safe, but we must now act. The galaxy may need us again. Reloc, the coalition scientist, could not hide his amazement. Your memory of warfare is incredible. Your strategy, your discipline, your courage, these are qualities rarely seen in any species. Even after centuries, you retain all of this. Ryan nodded. It is not only memory. It is purpose. Every human aboard this ship carries the history of those who fought and fell. We do not forget. And we do not surrender. This is our nature. This is humanity. The aliens realized that they were witnessing something unique. They had encountered intelligent species before, but none had preserved their sense of duty and skill across such vast spans of time. The humans of the Sentinel were living proof of endurance, courage, and determination. Torin moved to the control panels. The ship has waited for us, he said. The systems are partially restored, but there is much work to do. Weapons must be repaired. Sensors must be calibrated. Crew who awaken must be trained. The enemy will not wait, and neither can we. Laura added, this is why we must move carefully. We will awaken the others in stages. Each human must understand our mission and be ready to fight. Only then can we face what awaits beyond these stars. The aliens nodded, understanding the gravity of the situation. They realized that the humans were not simply survivors. They were warriors shaped by centuries of relentless battle, warriors who would inspire hope and fear alike in the galaxy. Ryan looked at the alien crew and spoke with authority. We share this history with you so that you understand why we act as we do. We are not reckless. We are not cruel. We are prepared. We fight because it is our nature. Stand with us, and you will see the strength of humanity. Step aside, and you may witness it as a storm that cannot be stopped. The bridge of the Sentinel hummed with renewed power. Lights flickered to life, systems tested themselves, and the ship seemed to breathe with energy long dormant. The humans moved with quiet confidence, preparing for the next step in their mission. As the aliens watched, they understood the truth of Ryan's words. The humans were not merely awakened from stasis. They were awakened from time itself, carrying the fire of a species that refused to fade. The Sentinel had a past, but its future was about to begin. Humanity's history of relentless battle was not a memory. It was a promise, a warning, and a hope. And the galaxy would soon witness it. The Sentinel sailed through the dark expanse of space. The humans aboard moved with purpose, inspecting weapons, calibrating sensors, and checking the ship's engines. The aliens assisted where they could, still amazed at the skill and precision of these warriors who had slept for centuries. Ryan and Laura studied the star maps. Their eyes scanned every sector, every system. We must know if they are still out there, Ryan said. The machines may have scattered, but they do not rest. Neither do we. Dallin adjusted the sensors. There is something. A faint energy signature in the next system. It is unlike anything we have seen recently. But it is too organized to be natural. Ryan's eyes narrowed. It is them. They have returned. The aliens were tense. They had heard the history of the human war, but now it was real again. The machines that had hunted humanity across the stars were moving once more. The humans of the Sentinel did not panic. They only prepared. "We will approach carefully," Laura said. "We must observe before striking. But we cannot wait long. They will detect us if we linger." The Sentinel advanced, sensors on full alert. Ahead, in the shadow of a dying star, a fleet of machines drifted in formation. Their hulls were jagged and metallic, covered in scars from battles long ago. But despite the damage, their energy cores glowed steadily. The fleet had awakened after centuries of dormancy. Ryan's voice was calm but strong. "Prepare for engagement. We do not flee. We do not hesitate. Every human aboard this ship knows the duty. We fight, and we will not stop until the enemy is destroyed." The humans moved with precision. Dallin directed energy weapons to align with the incoming fleet. Laura checked the automated turrets, adjusting targeting sequences. Torin ensured that repair crews were ready to respond to damage immediately. The aliens watched in awe as humans coordinated a defense without hesitation. Their instincts, sharpened by centuries of battle, guided every decision. The Sentinel itself seemed to respond to their commands, systems coming alive as if recognizing its purpose once more. The machines advanced, sensing the humans aboard the Sentinel. Their metal limbs moved with mechanical precision. They fired energy pulses at the Sentinel, testing its defenses. Ryan and Laura gave commands calmly. Shields strengthened, weapons fired, and the first of the machine fleet began to fall. The humans were relentless. They did not flinch, they did not fear. Every movement was calculated, every strike efficient. The aliens realized that these humans were not just soldiers. They were a force born to endure the impossible. Even after centuries of sleep, their minds and bodies acted with perfect coordination. The machines, though powerful, were met with unwavering resistance. "Watch their strategy," Ryan said to the aliens. "We do not simply attack. We anticipate. We adapt. We survive. That is the strength of humanity." The battle continued. Energy beams lit the darkness, striking the machines in a precise sequence that destroyed multiple targets in moments. The humans aboard the Sentinel moved between stations, repairing, firing, and coordinating with flawless timing. Torin shouted a warning. "More incoming. From the left flank." Dallin adjusted targeting immediately. "Engage. Do not give them a chance to regroup." The aliens could not hide their admiration. They had seen warriors from many species, but none moved with this combination of discipline, courage, and determination. The humans were alive because they refused to fail, because they carried the fire of their ancestors in every action. As the last of the first wave of machines fell, Ryan spoke quietly to his crew. This was only the beginning. They will return in greater numbers. We must awaken the rest of the crew. Every human must be ready. The Sentinel will sail to face whatever comes next. Humanity does not surrender. The aliens realized the truth in his words. These humans were more than survivors. They were the living embodiment of determination and courage. The machines had returned, but the humans were prepared. They were ready to meet any enemy, to face any danger, and to continue the legacy of relentless battle. The Sentinel moved forward, engines glowing brightly. Ahead, the stars stretched in silent promise. But for the humans aboard, there was no silence. There was only vigilance, preparation, and the certainty that they would fight until the enemy was gone. Ryan stood on the bridge, eyes fixed on the distant fleet. "We are human. We fight. We endure. And we will not stop until the galaxy knows the strength of our species." The aliens watched in silence, understanding that they had witnessed something extraordinary. Humanity had awoken, and the war that had once seemed lost was alive again, carried forward by those who refused to yield. The Sentinel surged forward, its engines glowing like molten fire. The humans aboard moved with precision and discipline. Every system was manned, every weapon ready. The aliens watched, astonished at the coordination and determination of these warriors who had slept for centuries. Ryan stood on the bridge, hands resting lightly on the console. "They are coming in waves," he said. "We will meet them with force. We do not retreat. We do not surrender. Every human on this ship knows the duty." Laura moved along the weapons stations, checking targeting systems. "Shields at maximum. Turrets aligned. Prepare for impact," she said. Her voice was calm but commanding. The aliens could feel the intensity of her focus. The first wave of machines approached. Their hulls glinted in the distant starlight, and energy pulses streaked toward the Sentinel. The humans responded instantly. Turrets fired in synchronized bursts. Energy beams struck the machines, tearing through their metal frames with precision. Dallin coordinated repairs and defense simultaneously. "Engage. Keep formation. Do not allow them to flank us." The aliens marveled at the humans' efficiency. Even after centuries in stasis, they moved with instinctive skill. They were not panicked, not uncertain. Every action was deliberate, every decision calculated to protect the ship and destroy the enemy. The machines advanced relentlessly. They were numerous, relentless, and without fear. But the humans of the Sentinel were stronger in will and in strategy. Ryan directed the crew calmly. "Focus on the lead units. Their formation will break if we strike at the heart." Energy beams struck in perfect timing, disabling several machines. Explosions lit the darkness, illuminating the human crew working in perfect harmony. Each member anticipated the other's movements, responding to threats before they became dangerous. Torin shouted a warning. "Left flank. Incoming drones." Laura adjusted the weapons immediately. "Target and fire. Do not let them gain advantage." Even the aliens could not keep up with the humans' pace. They observed in awe as centuries of training and battle instinct manifested in action. Every move was precise. Every attack was efficient. The machines, despite their strength, could not match the humans' relentless determination. Ryan moved to the central console. "We will divide their forces. Draw them into narrow corridors. Their numbers will be wasted against our tactics. Humanity has faced impossible odds before, and we will do so again." The Sentinel itself seemed alive. Systems responded faster, shields strengthened automatically, weapons aimed with better accuracy. It was as if the ship remembered the humans and their purpose, supporting them in their fight. The battle raged for hours. Machines fell in waves, and the humans did not falter. They moved between stations, repaired damage instantly, and coordinated attacks that tore through enemy formations. Each human on the Sentinel knew their role, and they executed it flawlessly. Dallin shouted over the alarms. "Hull integrity at 70%. We are holding. Keep fighting. Do not yield." Ryan looked at the bridge screens. The machines were retreating temporarily, regrouping for another strike. "They will return. We will not wait. We strike now. Focus on their central units. End this wave." Energy beams tore through the enemy fleet. Explosions rocked the darkness, sending metal fragments spinning in space. The humans worked together with perfect timing. No panic, no hesitation. Their determination was unbroken. The aliens realized the truth of the human strength. They were not merely soldiers. They were endurance incarnate. Their spirit, their courage, and their skill could not be defeated by numbers or technology alone. As the last of the first enemy wave fell, Ryan spoke to the crew. "We have won this fight, but the war is not over. Every human aboard must be ready. The Sentinel will sail into the heart of danger. We fight because it is our nature. Humanity does not surrender. The aliens watched silently, understanding that these humans were more than survivors. They were a symbol of relentless courage, a living force that could inspire hope and fear alike across the galaxy. The Sentinel moved forward once more. Its engines glowed brightly, its weapons ready, and its human crew alert and determined. The battle was far from over, but the humans aboard carried the fire of centuries of warfare. They were prepared to meet any enemy and continue the legacy of relentless battle. Ryan stood on the bridge, eyes fixed on the dark expanse ahead. We are human. We endure. We fight. And we will never stop until the galaxy knows our strength. The battlefield stretched across the void, filled with wreckage from the relentless clash between the Sentinel and the returning machines. Smoke and energy pulses lit the darkness. The humans aboard moved with calm determination, repairing damage, manning weapons, and coordinating every strike with precision. Ryan stood on the bridge, observing the enemy fleet. Their numbers were still great, but the humans' discipline and courage had given them the advantage. Every attack was calculated. Every movement was deliberate. They were not merely fighting, they were demonstrating the strength of humanity itself. Laura moved along the weapons stations, directing fire with perfect timing. Concentrate on the lead units. Their formation is weakening. This is our chance to strike hard and fast, she commanded. Torin guided repair crews through damaged corridors, ensuring that every system stayed online. Hull breaches are under control. Shields are stable. Keep focus. Victory depends on every second, he said. The aliens watched in awe. They had seen many species in combat, but none possessed this combination of instinct, skill, and unyielding determination. Even after centuries of stasis, humans moved as though they had never paused, as though time had never touched their spirit. The machines attacked again, energy pulses cutting through space. The Sentinel's shields absorbed the impact, and the humans responded with relentless precision. Each strike tore through the enemy, fragmenting their ranks and scattering their forces. Dallin directed the turrets. Do not stop. Keep firing. Every wave must be broken. The humans worked as one. They moved through the ship with coordinated efficiency, each action reinforcing the next. The Sentinel itself seemed alive, supporting their efforts, its systems flowing seamlessly with the human crew's commands. Ryan's voice was calm but unwavering. Remember why we fight. We fight for humanity. For those who came before. For those who may come after. We do not falter. We do not surrender. Every strike is a statement. Every action is proof of our strength. The final wave of machines approached, larger and more aggressive than before. They surged toward the Sentinel with relentless force. The humans met them without hesitation. Shields held firm, weapons fired in synchronized volleys, and repairs kept pace with damage. Laura gave the command. Focus on the core units. Their destruction will collapse their fleet. This is the moment we have trained for, even in sleep. Energy beams struck the central units of the machine fleet. Explosions erupted, sending fragments scattering across space. The remaining machines faltered, their coordination breaking down. The humans pressed the attack, striking with precision and determination until every threat was neutralized. The battlefield grew silent. The Sentinel floated among the wreckage, battered but unbroken. The humans stood on the bridge and in the corridors, exhausted but proud. Their eyes shone with the certainty that they had faced impossible odds and prevailed. Solari, the alien captain, approached Ryan. I have never witnessed anything like this, he said quietly. Your species, it does not yield. It endures. It fights against impossible odds and emerges victorious. Humanity is unlike anything we have known. Ryan nodded. We are human. We fight because it is our nature. We endure because we must. And we will not stop, no matter the darkness that comes. Laura looked out the viewport at the distant stars. This victory is ours, but the Sentinel's mission is not finished. There are still threats, still systems to protect. We fight not for glory but for life itself. Dallin added, every human aboard this ship has a duty. We will continue to defend, to explore, and to inspire. Our strength is not only in battle but in hope, courage, and determination. That is the legacy of humanity. The aliens realized the truth in their words. The humans were more than warriors. They were a symbol of resilience, a testament to the spirit that could survive and thrive even against impossible odds. The galaxy had witnessed the awakening of a force that refused to be broken. The Sentinel powered up its engines and moved forward, leaving the wreckage behind. The humans prepared for their next mission, ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. Their courage was unwavering, their purpose clear, and their spirit unyielding. Ryan turned to his crew. We are awake. We are human. The galaxy may challenge us, but we will endure. We will fight. We will protect. And the story of humanity will be remembered wherever stars shine. Stand with us, and you will know the strength of our species. Stand against us, and you will learn it as well. The humans and their alien allies watched the stars ahead. The Sentinel sailed onward, carrying not only warriors but a message: humanity endures. Humanity fights. Humanity inspires. And no matter the darkness, humanity will always shine. The legacy of the Sentinel and its crew was clear. It was not just a story of survival, nor a tale of war alone. It was the proof that the human spirit could not be extinguished, that courage could overcome fear, and that even in the face of impossible odds, humanity would continue to rise. The Sentinel moved forward, engines blazing, a symbol of hope, courage, and relentless determination across the galaxy.